The New World Order of the AI Economy. Revenge of the Nerds. So what does this mean? It specifically means what it says. This is the revenge of the nerds. Now, what we've also been seeing is there has been a lot of people now recently being able to use some janky AI to produce some image, right? Some superhero image of themselves or some methodical image of themselves, right? Now, what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to explain to you the importance of understanding the growth curve in technology and the evolution what we're currently experiencing right now, and the super importance of you understanding the importance of the technology and why you need to be on board with the things that are quote unquote evolving, right? Because if you're not, you will get decimated. So let's look at this through a business lens, right? So to set the stage here, we're going to look at Clayton Christensen. And he refers to something called crossing the chasm. And also, if you look at Jeffrey Moore, you can look at the book The Chasm, right? So now what we are looking at here is that relationship, right? So firstly, as you can see here, we have the expectation. So this is specifically when a new technology is triggered and enters the market, right? There will be this bunch of people that will be fanatics about this thing because they will understand every ounce of it, and they will basically be the fanatic. They will just know so much about it and understand its capabilities, etc. So then there will be this peak of inflated expectation, right? That will flood the market. And what will then happen is there will be the trough of disillusionment, right? So as you can see on this graph. And then you have the slope of enlightenment, and then you have the hype cycle, technology adoption, life cycle, etc., right? So if you look at the just below this first graph, you have the chasm, right? So the chasm is that gap that we're referring to here, right? Between the innovators, the early adopters, and which then rolls over to the relationship with the early majority of the people when they first latch onto it. Because if we look at it in this spectrum of things, and I'm going to refer to this comment here I put here, is that whenever you solve a problem for someone, like the highest level of problems that you can solve, it's solved on the quote unquote military level, right? What then happens is then you need to seek the highest second level of problems that you can solve, quote unquote, would be money. So people with wealth, right? Because they will have the resources. They will not only have the resources, but the resource will allow them to buy access to people with the knowledge, which then will entail that process of diluting down to people like us, right? So what that specifically means is that we saw like the military could be using this specific piece of AI, right, for a very long time. And now all of a sudden they have diluted that process. They've made pieces of these AI pieces available, or some kind of an engineer has built this thing and they've allowed it into the quote unquote social environment where you now see people using some AI, janky AI, to produce a photo of themselves. So let's look at that relationship real quick here. Okay, yeah, so we have Bob. So Bob uses the AI, right? Bob uses the AI to specifically then take his face, uploads his face to the AI, and boom, out comes instant superhero. And then we have another example, which is finance. So finance is crypto, right? In this new world, what I keep referring to, the evolution and how rapidly things are moving. And if you're not on track, you will be decimated. So Bob, all right, so Bob uses another example where Bob goes out, he uses some AI, right? Then within that process says that he uses some Wikipedia, and then boom, out comes the white paper, right? So coming back to this comment I just put here, I want to go over what Clayton Christensen refers to here. So another useful concept in the industry of evolution, formulated by Geoffrey Moore in his book called Crossing the Chasm, has three has a similar underlying logic, right? Crossing the Chasm 3 has a similar underlying logic, but articulates the stages in terms of their uses rather than the product. So more suggests that the product are initially used by the innovators, early adopters of the industry, and obviously, as I've explained this whole graph just in a moment, just so you can see that I'm not sucking this stuff out of my thumb. And it has validity behind this whole cyclical nature of evolution connected to technology that introduces a new product into the market, right? So what is the focal point here? Now, quoting Charles Darwin here, it says that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, okay, that survive. It is the ones that are more adaptable to change. Now, it simply means that the ones who can tweak, the ones who can update, the ones who can iterate the fastest, those products, customers, people in a business lens, they will be able to survive, right? Now, in order to scale your business in the new world, you need to align yourself with the technology or you will be decimated. I've probably said that more than 3 times now. So, and you solve this through using what we call Sentinal AGI print, right? So it makes marketing and sales at large scale. It specifically solves for that. And it makes it possible for you to grow at speeds never seen before, and whilst being extremely capital efficient, right? So let's look at some examples. So here we have Matisse from France. He recently worked with us and he generated 1,000 euros in MRR with his education business, and we helped him scale to 30,000 euros in less than 5 months, simply through using and installing Sentinel AGI print. Right, then we have one of our other customers here. We have Phelan B Fit, went from working multiple jobs and trying to really solve his online coaching business as a fitness professional, and we helped him do that. And we scaled to around $7,000 in MRR in just under 8 weeks. Now, another one of our clients, Gareth from the Fit Crew Health and Fitness, went from zero, just coming out of college, finishing a business degree, not knowing what to do, and he scaled his online coaching business to $6,000 in MRR in just over 7 weeks. Right, so another one of our clients, Goodman Elite Fitness, went from 0 to 3K in MRR, and he was also able to move country, and he's now living in Qatar. So these are some of the clients who we have worked with. So this specific video is for you if you are a business owner who wants to scale past $50,000 or $10,000 in MRR, but you're struggling to get consistent meetings, qualified meetings on your calendar. You're feeling tired of doing courses after courses, burning money on marketers, burning money on spending on ad spend, etc., right? And you're tired of old school marketing agencies promising the world and not delivering on their promises, right? Now, you might be a service-based business owner struggling to scale your business online, because this is specifically something I hear from people every single week. I speak to various different business owners in different sectors, but specifically service-based. But I hear them say that, hey, we've solved this thing online. We're doing X amount. We're doing over $10,000 in our physical application of what we do, but we're struggling to make this thing work online, and we just can't figure out what it is. Maybe it's a dinosaur marketing system, or maybe it's something in the line of people not wanting to update or change. But these are the things I keep hearing on a weekly basis, right? So you might have spent $10,000 on some ads and you got severely burned in that process. Or, you're suspect for online course sellers, and, you might want to stick around if that's you. So the truth is, you can scale your service-based business to $30,000 to $100,000 in MRR using some paid traffic and some funnels. However, most entrepreneurs are not equipped with these skills to do this, because the tech is relatively new and evolving at an extremely rapid pace. And we have specifically entered the new world. You can no longer just go out, take some money, run a simple ad, and get returns. You actually have to have some really, really in-depth skills. Now, what I said here specifically is also that you're not just one funnel away. However, we keep hearing that, but it's just not the truth. A funnel is let's say 20% of the equation that you're working on with your online business, right? So, however, this is what has been sold to us. So, we are the only people dedicated to solving a particular problem, this particular problem, right? Because I wanted to figure out how to solve this, and no one could show me how to do this. So, I decided we're going to figure out how to do this, and that's exactly what we did. So, our whole thesis evolves around one core concept: entrepreneurs fail not because they can't build products and identify markets, like etc., right? It's specifically because it's not because they can't identify markets, price their products correctly, conduct themselves in these activities, because they solve this in the wrong order and they simply run out of money before they get any real traction. It's also in the validating process of that, when you have an idea and you're like, you know what, I think this can work, but you don't have the data to back that up. And that's where this whole process comes in, right? So it's possible, like I said, to scale to $30,000 and even to 500K in MRR in 12 to 24 months if you have the right information and steps in the right order. So unfortunately, far too many entrepreneurs either like don't understand how to do that, they don't understand the correct step cadence, right? And they end up wasting a lot of time and money, and specifically opportunity cost, because the more you spin your wheels, the more you try to figure out things yourself. As I was doing this for a very long time, the more you dive deeper into the pain cycle, and you lose so much in opportunity cost because you're Mr. I'm gonna figure out myself. And I was that guy. And as soon as I, just started to expand my wings, started to remove the ego out of the equation, things started to really move rapidly for me. And we have dedicated the last few years to solve this problem. So my name is Jacques Janssen van Rensburg, and I never went to any Ivy League school. I didn't attend Harvard or Yale Business School. However, I wanted to learn how to use my natural abilities to make a real difference, aka providing real value, because I was involved with like TVC stuff, like commercials, doing some quote unquote acting, modeling. I was modeling for some companies, and this wasn't challenging me, number one. And I just did not, it did not feel like this was it for me. Like it literally, that's what I felt in the process, because I learned about the industries. There was a lot of people that I worked with on a business perspective on the side, and we were doing these things. And, I simply came to realize that, all of these campaigns, there was like really big businesses that I was helping beside, like I was doing this modeling thing for it was like a side hustle kind of thing that was egotistical. I liked it a little bit, and then I got used to doing it. And then what happened to me was that I was always learning from people that were running real companies, because I told myself, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to people that run multi-million-dollar companies, and I'm going to learn from them. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to go do something for that person. I don't care what it is. I'd sweep his floor. I'd mop the ground, whatever it is. I would go learn that. And in this process, I started to work with some quite like big companies, and I helped them with marketing campaigns and sales campaigns, etc. Now, this was specifically to just improve my skills, right? Because I knew at the end of the day, I wanted to be able to build something of my own that I do understand that can help someone in this world on a massive scale. But I really wanted to figure out how that is and how you come about putting all these things together, right? And I recently spoke to someone at the airport, and they told me, hey, how did you come about this idea? And this was how, like, this was part of it. This was through this whole process, and this is basically how we came about what we do for Self-Built Systems right now. So this is just a picture to show you that I'm not like just bubbling. I was actually kind of good at this whole modeling, marketing, whole sales perspective of things, just to show you that. But I'm not showing you this to brag. I'm not showing you this to be egotistical about it. I'm literally just showing you for the transparency purpose of making this video. So in this phase of my life, like I said, I learned a ton. I experienced working with companies like JBL, Manscaped, Switch Playgrounds, which is a gym, Daniel Wellington, high-end luxury watches, EHP Labs. These are like supplement companies, Nutritech, Ignite, Rage Models, Outsurance, Gary Rom is a high-end Barber, right? Ignite Fitness, High End Gym, Urban Crew Studios. These were like production TV people. I learned their quote unquote processes, systems, etc. Deranged and the Model Academy and an Outsurance, which is an insurance-based company. So there was a lot that I learned from these people. And like I said, I don't share this to impress you. I simply show this to you to specifically just show you that in this process of going out into this real world, I've been able to learn a few things, and not just based on theory, but actual going out helping these people with their sales and marketing campaigns, etc. So since launching Nexus, which was the first thing that we initially launched, which was a marketing agency for fitness professionals, which we really battled and getting like real traction with this company, and for like over 5 months of not signing one single client, I got frustrated because I was doing everything all these gurus were telling me to do. I was going out, I was sending a bunch of messages per day, doing the quote unquote rule of 100, whatever, cold outbounds, etc. Right? I got fed up with spinning my wheels, you know, and I told myself I'd rather die than give up. Right? So I kept learning, I kept searching, I kept testing, I was not going to leave any rock unturned, right? So I studied all of the famous gurus that you know. You and I both know them, right? I studied all of them. I studied specific ops within inside of businesses, OpEx. I studied systemization, AI innovation, blockchain, like microeconomics, quantum physics, and a little bit of David Deutsch. And after tons of combing through the bullshit, I was driving to like a nearby town to visit a friend, and I was listening to this podcast, and the host was like busy talking about all this new tech innovation, and how the new world has changed, how all of this stuff that we've been through with quote unquote the COVID situation has allowed us to speed up things so much. And he was mentioning AI, he was mentioning like there were talks about the metaverse, how this could play a role, and that was it for me. I was like, I got it. Like I get it now. I finally get it now. I understand how this fits in here. I understand how these systems play a role here, because look, the whole world is ran by systems. Like if you just go and look, you have the roadwork system, you have your internal systems that run through here, right? You have, when you want to do something in fitness, you have to follow a specific system. You want to get bigger guns, then you have to train a certain way. You want to be fitter, then you have to train a certain way, but they follow specific systems in getting to that end goal. If you're a trader, you have to create a system. Why? Because you have to have the rules and the discipline to follow that system. Once you have that key connected in, then it's simply about following and executing on the system that you've built, because it's a system for a reason, right? Those are a few examples of why this is so important. So now also recently, MACD has filed for a patent to serve your avatar some happy meals in the digital world, right? To make it nice and round. Like, let's just, hopefully their McFlurry machines work in the metaverse. Because I don't want to get to the metaverse and be like, oh, sorry, sir, we can't serve you ice cream today. So here's this article by Forbes that you can go look up, speaking about McDonald's and the metaverse, specifically launching these patents. So, like I told you, that was the moment, right? I literally just went over this process, but that was the moment these things really started to fire my brain. I started to understand this pattern. I started to understand this. All the dots really started to combine, and I was like, okay, you know what? I got this. I just need to go out and build this thing now, because that was it for me. It was literally it for me. So because I started to understand the relationship between solving for a threat level 1 issue, and the other piece of the relationship, which I will get to, is just doing something because a guru sold you into the idea. Most gurus on the internet now will either sell you some, you have to start a social media marketing agency, because why? You will get more clients. That's what they tell you. Or rather, let me rephrase that. Companies need more clients, and you will be the guy bringing them those clients. They always need new clients, and that's the hook point and the sell point that they sell you to, and which is really not a threat level 1 issue that you're solving for. You want to find threat level 1 issues, and you want to solve for that, and that's exactly what we help entrepreneurs do. And we help them get not only to product market fit at rapidly, speedy, like weirdly fast cycles, we also help them to become really profitable and really capital efficient in the process, right? So I went back to the lab, like I just said. I pulled up my old laptop. Once I had all these connected dots moments and this light bulb moment went like this, I took the Nexus protocol, which we built out for the social media marketing for fitness people, and I was like, okay, this is what we have here. I understand these variables and how they connect into the world that we are in right now. Let's start to work, because I was like, I got this. And after like 7 months of building and iterating and like testing, finding product market fit, running beta tests, doing all these things, right? We were able to launch the first version of self-built systems, right? We looked at problem from a first principles standpoint of what companies really want and need, right? And we focused on the best value add even for the best companies. We created the protocol and built the growth team to ramp any company. And this is specifically 4 to 5. It's sometimes a 4 to 5 man team, which we have built. But this could sometimes industry to industry and business to business vertical, they differ. Sometimes there's one more guy, sometimes there's 2 more people, sometimes there's 3 more people, but we have solved for this, right? We specifically just looked at what everyone else was doing, right? Because these 4 to 5 people not only have a lot of this here, but they also have a lot of leverage in understanding the tech, right? So, and like I said, we looked at what everyone else, what they were busy with, what they were selling people online. And, we focused on what it is that the businesses actually want in the value add, right? What is it that they need? So, and boom, 7 months later, self-built system was built and it worked better than ever before. I didn't imagine it working this well, and people from all sorts of service-based businesses and industries were asking us, bro, how are you doing this? Can you show us what you are doing differently? Because this is exactly what I heard here on the sales calls, is people tell me that, hey, like, I've worked with this marketing person or this marketing company. They generated all of these leads for us, but not one closed. And I was like, aha, exactly. That's one of the areas that we solve for, because we're tired of hearing that, right? And my goal went from trying to make money with an agency, solving a threat level 1 problem, to now solving a threat level 1 problem for businesses, providing real value, building and creating products that move humanity forward, not just put money into my own pocket, right? So now we're gonna roll over to this whole new, the AI economy, right? The revenge of the nerds, as we refer to it. So you can also go check out, this is Matt Vassi or Vassi, I'm not too sure how you pronounce that. This article was published quite a while ago. So in conjunction with other global trends, artificial intelligence is rapidly tearing down the old barriers to build new world orders, right? As a result, the next century will be dominated by countries that rapidly adapt to the new AI economy, right? As we are seeing. So this assumption that the next century will be specifically the Chinese century may be proven wrong if China cannot adapt to the new AI economy. So important, right? And the AI economy is built on 3 pillars. So the AI workforce, right? Labor pools with a broad set of skills, including AI research, AI implementers, AI literate workers, adapt with robotics and automation, and we're gonna get to data science and machine learning, etc. AI infrastructures, data sharing, algorithms exchange, labor mobility, and the low-cost energy will be needed to support the continued AI innovation. And that's what we're gonna get to, this state where I prove the fact that, or not really, this is the proof for that fact, but really just saying that everything around us, the energy production is literally at 0, right? Literally costs 0 to produce that energy. And this is why AI will really even out the ground level. So AI social contract, right? So worker displacement will create significant resistance. Retaining guaranteed income schemes and other transactions costs will be absorbed by leading countries adopting the AI economy, right? Now, this is a little bit of that UBI dirty life, or if you know, right? So instead of posting cool photos of drawings that some janky AI whipped up for you, why not learn how to use this in your business, right? Wouldn't that make logical sense? I mean, the old way of doing this was specifically going out, hiring old school marketing and sales agencies, but they're specifically being phased out, because since marketing pulls sales and sales pulls product, the highest leveraging thing one can do is marketing, right? Now, It's theoretically impossible to get returns by only controlling marketing. To get resonance, right, with a market, one needs to have awareness of the market, which is collected by marketing and selling. It's being in the trenches, and it's being able to reiterate and, from the trenches, shoot the shot, hit the target or not, iterate, move forward that relationship, right? Reload, etc. So, like I said, we're in the trenches, baby. Non-specialized marketing agencies are risky for businesses. Why? Because an offer has a product IP secrets and marketing IP secrets. The platform, the audience, like specifically, right? The platform, audiences, the compounded learnings gathered by the marketer are both secrets of businesses. Well, these secrets are what the businesses can't afford to have outsourced, because they can potentially lose that expertise, right? Unless they are a local business, right? It's like giving away products and trade secrets or patents. Don't know if that's a smart idea. So general marketing agencies are a temporary state. So it's common for people who are starting and who want to get rich quick to start a general marketing agency, since marketing is always in demand and customers are easy to find and to onboard, right? This is the whole point. I was trying to say that this is what I've been sold in this process. I don't know if you've been sold the same idea, but I keep hearing this a lot. I keep seeing this everywhere, and I don't want people to fall into the same trap as I did. So I'm here to spread that truth and transparency on that note, right? Marketers need looks and hooks. You need some nerds with six packs, right? And data machines. That's what we're working with here today. So top media buyers will need to understand the technicals that work within the platforms, and also understand how to push messages out into the world, which will require them to get on camera, put their ideas out there, and it will require courage and maybe some looks, right? Not to scare people off and have that whole slimy salesman or scarecrow effect, right? So cracks in other models are being exposed, right? So fragmented online coaching markets, etc., right? So online courses are extremely efficient mechanism of delivering value, right? Information. So you can make a ton with them only if you are a true expert and you're continuously updating your info, right? No one wants to take the course or the online course from the second best heart surgeon, right? And here I put this comment here. I was also tired of doing course after course, and I was in that cycle, right? Now, a relevance problem with online courses. If you are a single operator, the longer you spend marketing and selling an online course, the more experienced you get in marketing and selling in the marketing and sales domain. And the further you move away from doing the actual thing, right? It's kind of like that whole dichotomy where it's a coach coaching a coach how to coach, but then they end up teaching marketing, right? So it's kind of like also in line with that whole dichotomy of things, right? So what we have now seen is that the need for a community, right? One positive about the online course world is that operators are starting to understand that there's a big need for community. It's just logic, right? People love being with other people, connecting with people that are on the same wavelength that they are maybe trying to reach a similar goal, right? Community is everything. So the new way is using Sentinal AGI print. This is the thing, right? So we use data sets not available to AI, and this is quote unquote called Sentinel AGI scripts. Could be worth 25x once it's completed. Not could be, it is. Once it's done right, it's worth 25x once it's completed, and it has an infinite upside, right? So because of the energy production being zero. So now product market fit. This is a elusive state of a business where everything works for the customer by profit specifically, source growth, accelerators, exceptionally, and crashes, and the cash piles, they specifically pile up into the checking account, right? Now, product market fit is found by the effective assembly of a Sentinel AGI script. So the activity that specifically self-built systems that we engage in with, right? So we will help you put this whole thing together, and you can turn into Tom Brady with all the rings, right? So that's what we aspire for all of our customers. So a single doc that is formed, right? Product produced, formed by pitching hundreds of times to get enough awareness so that it contains insights that is useful enough to the market to think it's valuable and share it, right? The virality effect. So if it's valuable enough, or well, it will get shared and it will go viral, and the cost to like get a lead will literally go down to zero. And this is specifically where we're introducing the new tech, right? So Sentinel AGI scripts underpins the marketing. It makes the ads work. It makes the outbound messages work. A similar process occurs at the outbound level, right? It solves for outbound prospecting. It enables a sales team, right? So not only the assembly of a really good like sales team, but the AGI script specifically solves for that, right? And it helps you iterate on the pitches. So it defines the size of the sales team, it makes the product useful, and also, as counterintuitive as this may sound, the best product designers are expert marketers, specifically those who run through the efficient assembly of a Sentinel AGI script process, right? Please read me again. Okay, so let's sum it up real quick. AI, social contract, workers' displacement will create significant resistance, retraining guaranteed income schemes and other transaction costs will be absorbed by leading countries adopting the AI economy, right? Old school marketing agencies and sales agencies are being phased out at a rapid pace, right? They are no longer fit. And general marketing agencies are a complete temporary state. So the new way is specifically using Sentinel AGI scripts. It's the new thing in order for you to really get traction within your business and to scale to the moon. Now, there's two scenarios which you have here. You can either like choose to do this yourself, which is extremely lonely. It's an information overload and not sure what guru to listen to because this one said this one said no, use this one said no, be aggressive, this one said no, doesn't matter if you're spamming, just do it, just do the work, do the boring, whatever, right? Burn, or you can specifically go ahead and do that, or you can burn money on cheap marketers, course sellers, etc., high lawyer fees within legal documents, etc., or you can spend anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 in knowledge of trying to acquire, build, structure the right way for you to solve this in your business. Or you can work with us, which is not lonely. We have a group of like-minded people, a community-based people that are there for each other, to help each other. And also the great thing is there are people on different levels. There are people that produce like anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 in their company. Then there are people that do like higher numbers between 7 and then up obviously to 30 and plus. So now you get a step-by-step protocol that we've built out. It took us 7 to 8 months to build out this thing. And you get the step-by-step protocol to go from $30,000 to $500,000 in MRR. It's a done for you plus a done with you approach, and it's basically the best of both worlds, right? And you get plug and play documents, and especially plug and play legal documents that you can just use, tweak a few things, send them to your lawyer or someone legal, and they can just check them out for you. And you will save so much money, trust me, in this process. Start winning and stop hurting people, right? Stop hurting yourself, start hurting other people. Now you might be asking, like, will this work for me if I'm doing like, $3,000 to $5,000 a month in your own business right now? And I can tell you yes, because we have figured out, that the best people that we work with are people that are generating $10,000 in their month. Can we help you? Yes, we can. But we primarily looking for people that are generating $10,000 per month in revenue. Will this work for me if I have no prior experience? So typically the niche that's best suited for you is the one where you have the most experience and you have been there, kind of done that, got the t-shirt, right? You've generated some skills, your pop taught you a skill or whatever the situation might be, or your uncle taught you something. And what you want to do is identify niches and markets in their threat level 1 issues, right? That requires you to specifically have a deep understanding and knowledge base, particularly, so that you can market and, so that you can understand what that specific niche is, what their whole desire is that you need to craft a solution for and how to talk to these people, right? Now, if you can't identify a particular niche and their threat level 1 issue based on previous transformations you've made, your experience or skills specifically and expertise The next best thing is to conduct research into industries that you're familiar with, right? So you have some kind of experience within them, you're passionate about them, and you can use the equation formula to guide you through this process. And we will speak a little bit more about this because this is something we have inside of the protocol. So speak with people in said industries, and they, you will be able to contact them. We have a whole process that we go over, how you generate this data and being able to make that decision, right? So now, alrighty, so next question here could be, and I did not type it up because I have this one ingrained into my skull, is what if I'm already past 50K or 100K in MRR, right? So this specifically means that you already found a product market fit, right? Now, what this means is you're missing something in your whole process. There's a reason why you are stuck at 50K, or there's a reason why you're stuck at 100K. And it's kind of like identifying that problem, or not kind of, it's exactly like it is. It's identifying the specific problem that you're currently facing, solving for that, and then moving over to increasing the so-called gasoline onto the fire so that we can get that whole marketing or the quote-unquote firestorm created, right? That is, that's the sufficiency in the process. So yes, this is for you if you're over 50 or 100K, and even, jungling around 200K, yeah. My customers aren't on social media. Will this still work for me? Now, this is a common misconception, and it is the 22nd century, right? Your customers are on the internet. And because there is some form of some way that Bobby or Sarah will want to go out and check up on their ex-girlfriend. They will want to be able to stay in touch with their friends because we are all social creatures, right? We operate in that fashion, in that way, and using technology is also just obviously an easy way to communicate, right? Yeah, and you will be surprised in how fast we can specifically find them. So thank you so much for your time and your attention. If any of the above rang any bells in your mind and it prickled some kind of an interest, go ahead, book in a call with me or with one of my team members, and we'll help you out. We'll help you understand a little bit more about what it is exactly that you currently can do. And if you've enjoyed this video, if you found value in this video, please leave a like, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And as always, go out into this world and do something good for someone today. Bye-bye.